Hello everyone, I'm thrilled to welcome you all to another PGPX Speaker Series session here at IIM Ahmedabad. We have a very special guest with us here today. She is a part of Fortune India's 50 most powerful women in business and a member of NASSCOM's Executive Council. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Mrs. Sindhu Gangadharan, SVP and MD of SAP Labs India. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's great to be here on this beautiful campus.
Over the next few minutes, I was hoping to have a quick conversation on some topics which are close to your heart, and I'm sure the takeaways will be significant for all our viewers. Firstly, you're widely regarded as a technology humanist. As we go into what I hope is a more sustainable and compassionate future, in which areas do you think tech has the most scope to directly impact societal well-being?
Great question, because that's a question that I keep myself busy with a lot, because I think you'd agree with me, right? Technology is an enabler for so many things. And with technology, a lot of the things that we talk about, what we aspire to, like tomorrow I'm having this talk on women in leadership, right? But think about what technology can do to change the status quo. You can embed tech into your core business processes, like how do you hire, how do you recruit, how do you go about finding talent, and kind of eliminate the biases right there, right? So tech has the potential for us to scale solutions. Tech has the potential for us to really get problems solved at the grassroots level. And here in India, I mean, there's so many things that technology can help us do, right? I mean, we are an agri-heavy country. So think about the possibilities if we can get the information in the context of what a farmer is looking for, right? Is it the right time to harvest his or her crops, right? Or is it the right time to maybe find the right supplier to take what his produces and get it to another location? This is the kind of possibilities that we can solve with tech. And you don't need to now expect everybody to understand how tech works. The farmer is not going to learn about AI and all of that. But AI is going to help her get better returns, right? And that's the power of tech. Or look at education as a topic. The way in which we can make sure that everybody out there can understand and learn in the language of choice. Because if you go into the deep village here in Gujarat, you want to have the content in Gujarati, right? That is what tech can enable you to do. Have that real-time translation into the language that the user is in the context the user is in. And those are some of the possibilities with tech, and that's what keeps me going, and so many things that we can work on together.
That was extremely insightful, especially the agri example, scaling solutions and reducing the bias. So I think those are some trends that we'll keep our eye on.
Yes, totally. I mean, there's immense possibilities. I mean, these are just a few of the examples where we should really be leveraging tech even more than we do today to go out there and really understand how can we simplify things for everybody out there to make sure that they can leverage tech in the context of where they are, right? Yeah.
So simplification is at the heart of it.
Simplification is key, yes. Because it's not about trying to make tech so complex that nobody understands it, but how do you get it to the person who needs it the most in the way she or he wants it?
That's great. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
My next question is that digital transformation as a strategy is discussed in boardrooms, but in a lot of cases, product adoption itself falters. You recently mentioned how SAP user enablement is an engine which drives transformation by empowering the end users.
Correct.
I found that very interesting and wanted to ask you how SAP goes about connecting the dots when it comes to empowering these end users.
Yeah. So if you look at SAP today, right, I mean, we serve 500,000 customers worldwide. We have several million users of these customers, because each customer has several users, right? And each user has their own kind of journey, their experiences, their proficiency levels, their roles, their understanding of where they are in the context of that process which they are trying to solve. So it becomes fundamentally very important to make sure that the information you're looking for is found in the place that you are and where you are and the context in which you are. And the same for me. I mean, I need to know if I'm sitting and I need to, hey, how is the financial situation looking like today, and I know what are the projects that's happening in the next 6 months. So would I be sticking to my budgets, or can I optimize something? I need that information then and there in the context of my role, my business process, possibly a language of choice that I want my information. Okay, I can have it in English, but maybe you want it in Hindi, right? And that's our whole philosophy of how we are looking at enabling our end users, because we know that the maturity levels are different. The path in which a user is following is different. The different parts of our product areas come together in different ways at each of our customers. So the fundamental philosophy is, how do we make sure information is consistent, it's reliable, and in the context of where the user is. And that's kind of the core philosophy of enablement of our end users. And of course, there's a lot of technology behind the scenes that makes it possible, because you can think of something like an intelligent core working behind the scenes to find out the role of the user, the profile of the user, the kind of maturity levels of the user, where she is in the product, and kind of get the information no matter where it is and make it available in the context of where the user is. And that's a little bit, of course, we use digital adoption platforms like SAP Enable now. It's one of our products that we take to market. But the whole idea with a digital adoption platform, like the name itself suggests, is that it's a platform that allows you to very quickly adopt parts of our portfolio. And we've been seeing a lot of success with it, because finally happy users means we are also happy, right? And that's our end goal, getting people and users to be happy, energized, as well as inspired as they go across leveraging our products.
It's very nice to know that SAP has taken these initiatives centered around consistent, reliable, and contextual information.
Yes, yeah.
So, moving on to my last question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you have.
No, what I also wanted to say is, I mean, we're talking a lot about AI and all of that. We have what we call as a machine translation capability. And today, with that core AI capability, what we're able to do is, we've trained the models on SAP's context, right? And today you're able to have also the content, the contextualized content in 80 plus languages, right? And that's the power, because finally it's not just about the data being there, but also data needs to be, Sindhu wants it in this format, in this language. That's what we're also aspiring to do now.
Got it, and that instantly amplifies the reach of all of this information put together.
Exactly.
Moving on to my last question, we've broadly gone from a buzz around ERPs decades back to anything SaaS, and now to AI. Along with that, predictive analytics, data modeling, and a bunch of other topics are currently doing the rounds. The tech landscape itself is changing quite rapidly. How do you as a leader cope with this dynamic environment, and what should individuals do in general to stay ahead of the curve?
That's a great question. See, I think one fundamental thing we all need to remember is, don't go behind technology for technology's sake. Finally, it's always important to always, no matter in which context, what are the outcomes you're trying to achieve, right? Once you understand what is the outcome I want to achieve, then you bring in the right kind of technology. Because today I see a lot of like, oh my god, that's the latest trend, let's jump on that. No, first look at the outcomes, then look at, hey, what kind of technologies will help me get to that goal, right? And then there are smart people around, right? You're always surrounded by super smart people who know so much more than you. And as a leader, your most important task is to get the right people, right? Find your right team. And then you are powered by the right team, right? No individual can do it all, no chance. Find the right people, find smart people. There are brilliant people on all of those technologies you just mentioned. And main thing that what I said is the vision. What is it that you're trying to get to? And get people together, put smart people together, you can solve anything. And constantly for individuals, it's also that being able to adapt to change. Technologies will keep coming. Things around you will change. But what is important is, hey, what is it that I'm passionate about, where am I going? As long as you're clear about it, you will constantly evolve as an individual, right? So, I know, long answer to your question.
That was extremely valuable, and I'm sure everyone watching this will hold on to those pearls of wisdom.
Pearls of wisdom.
with that, we'll wrap up this conversation. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here.
Thank you, and please call me Sindhu for heaven's sake.
we hope to learn a lot more from you. All of us are looking forward to the talk tomorrow. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We'll be back again with you shortly.